me for that. That was my ninja night moment. Yeah, was just making me a cup of tea. I tried to hit the 7 o'clock mark as best I can. Monday to Thursdays. You'll get me on here now. If you want to tune in, you're more than welcome. A few people have been in touch. A few people have tuned in, are enjoying the content. That's really just what it is, really, for people to digest in their own personal time. It's just content. It's just me creating a space to speak openly and honestly from an independent perspective. And yeah, I'm not here to sell you anything or promote anything. I'm all about the state must fall. So my focus is purely on the state. I must again reiterate, I am not suggesting that you deregister. That's not what I'm here to do tonight. And it's not what I'm here to do at all at the moment. I'm still figuring these things out. I'm trying to, I suppose, after spending a few years doing lots of activism and meeting lots of different people and different groups and different players and different ideas, I've garnered a few snippets of information for myself, which is helping me on my journey. And that's really what this is about. I don't like that little number up there on the screen. It tells you that you're live, and it has number 1 in it at the moment. So that means that's telling me there's one person watching this, or one man and woman. Shouldn't use that word. Watching this, but it puts you off, I find, and I don't like to do the comments. I can't see our comments in the live chat. You don't see them on YouTube anyway, but you do see the live comments. But I can't stand seeing the comments coming in live. I like to start off and just kind of free flow for a while. It's a bit of personal counselling, I suppose, a bit of therapy for myself. Video diaries is what they are. Just seeking information, clarity for myself, and an understanding. I'm trying to figure out why the Irish people are so divided in reality, when it's blatantly obvious that the state is rotten to the core. So what is it that stops us coming together as a people? So that's the journey I'm on as an independent man, a natural living independent man, the son of Eire. So yeah, I've had Morlock on a couple of times, and anybody's welcome to get in touch and come on for a chat and muse about life and how we can take down the criminal cartel that currently occupies Leinster House, because that is the goal. Yeah, ultimately, can we do that, and how do we do that, and how do we get enough people to focus on that? Because there are many people who are unhappy. But yeah, that is the task. That is the task. So yeah, back to what I was saying. I'm not here tonight, and I'm not here to sell you the message of deregister. That's Morlock's message. It's not Donnacha's message. I'm still figuring things out. I don't know all the answers. I'm not the most intelligent person on the island, that's for sure. So I'm not claiming to be. But what I do, and what I do claim to be and see, is a man who sees that the government of Ireland is being run from outside sources, WEF and the UN and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's scandal after scandal, and we must, as a people, and not everybody's into this wavelength. I get it. That's why I have low numbers. But I suppose this is what I do. You know, try to find good people who see what I see, and I'd like to stop it lawfully, and come together as a people to do so. That's my ultimate goal. I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Sure, half the time I don't know what to do myself. Every day is a learning day, and we're making it up as we go along, really, aren't we? Let's be honest. But yeah, I see a state causing just untold pain, unimaginable amounts of pain on people at this stage, on Irish people, and yeah, it's a criminal cartel. So that's the fact of the matter. That's one thing I can tell you that I know, or I am of the opinion of, that yeah, that state is causing massive harm on our people for generations. And Morlock's right in what he says. They should have failed generations ago, but they haven't. So yeah, there's a whole lot to it. And as I said, I don't have all the answers. I'm willing to speak to people. I've been all around the place. There'll be no more protesting from me. No more reactionary protest, let's call it. Can't afford to do it anymore. Don't feel like asking people to donate for that to happen. That's just my personal thing. I understand some people have the right to make a few shillings, and if you can do it with your passion and what you're putting your time and energy into, and people like your content and want to do that, that's cool. But yeah, don't know where I was going off with there. But yeah, this is just, I like to just hit record, go live, and not look at the messages and not look at anything else, and just try and speak from the heart for a few minutes, and trying to speak clearly about where I sit on things in our nation from an independent viewpoint. And that's really it, folks. I've had more interest in a few of these live streams than I've had with the gatherings we had. Call them assemblies. People call them protests, some do. But yeah, there's more interest in me speaking openly and honestly, it seems, and using the portal to try and connect with people and help other people try and see through the madness, because it is, when you break it down, it's quite maddening and mad and maddening, so yeah, people seem to be going into and investing their hope in the political system, and I wouldn't have any faith in that right now. I think there's too many splitting of votes. I know nationalism is good. I believe it is anyway. The pride in one's nation, one's culture. But yeah, there's so many different ideas popping, and it's a shame that there's so many of them. In my eyes. But we need drastic change, I suppose, and not to just keep talking about it. So yeah, on the deregistering thing, I still have people commenting. Some people like the idea, some people don't like the idea. As Warlock says, I'm sitting on the fence because I have both whispering in here, and it doesn't make sense to me right now. And it hasn't. It nearly has, but it just hasn't. I don't feel personally. I've had a few messages. What after you deregister? Well, I'm not here to put down deregister. I'm not saying that either. I'm just observing and trying to speak and make sense of it all, because there's so many fractions within the movement, let's call it, within the people or the activism. There's so many fractions, and people don't speak to each other, and the numbers dwindle and go off into little groups. And it's good. Local is good. I believe local is very important and will be very important as we move forward, as we try to correct the wrongs, so to speak. So yeah, I might have been waffling enough. That was just me splurging, trying to make sense of the last few live streams. It's all happening as you see it, folks. It's happening in real time. So again, we're not here to catch anybody out or try and sound more intelligent than anybody. Trying to get people to focus on the state. The state must fall. And whilst I do believe deregistering, and people who do deregister totally see how bad the state is, I think taking your energy away from that, while not feeding it, the system rolls on and rolls on and rolls on. Like as I said, it rolls on and rolls on and rolls on. So I have a few more articles to read out this evening that my missus sent me. I have a few videos. I've sent Darren an invite, but he might be busy at the moment. So we'll just go with the flow. I'll go in and check the messages now, and that's really it. If you are watching, please do share this out, and to people you think may be interested. As I said, I'm open to doing talks. I'll play a few videos. I hope you can hear me. I better go in. Give me 1 second. I forgot. Yeah, so you can hear me. Is the sound good? I've had a few people in touch with the audio being bad, and I do know that's annoying when you're watching content. The sound, if it's bad, especially if it's bad, and it goes in and out. So yeah, let me know if the sound is good, will you, please? Margaret. Good evening to you, Margaret. Good evening, Terry. How are you? I'm going to turn off this big screen for a minute because it's a bit bright. So yeah, scribbles. I have a few scribbles here. I suppose I'll play a video maybe. There's no rush, so settle down. Leave a comment or a question if you like, and we'll talk about it. And again, if you'd like to come on for a chat, you're more than welcome. So I'll spark up a video anyway.
Doesn't necessarily have to be a biological family member. And this is when I want to get to the key point of changing what the definition of family is. It has serious consequences, particularly when we think of immigration law and proving that someone is family member or family reunification. This will allow that to be accommodated as well.
Talking about durable relationships.
Absolutely, yeah.
Once asylum seekers have been granted refugee status in this country, which family members should they be entitled to bring here to join them? Now that's the question that's being debated this afternoon in the Shannon.
Local authorities are already feeling the strain of providing permanent housing for refugees in the midst of a national housing crisis would be asked to provide additional houses for the family members. The average number of family members applied for under the family reunification provisions of the Refugee Act was 20, and the largest application was for over 70 family members. This would have had significant and unquantifiable impacts on the provision of housing, healthcare, education, welfare payments and other state supports.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a biological family member. And this is when I want to get to the key point of changing what the definition.
They want me to vote yes for these clowns. I'm voting no, no, no. I choose to make a home, their lives out of control. I'm voting no, no, no. I'm gonna take the time to wreck their cynical pantomime. One has to have to work and leave our kids. I'm voting no, no, no. I have the choice to be home with them during the day. Now they trying to take my constitutional protections away. 'Cause there's nothing you can teach me that I can learn from listening to my heart. I can barely get my babies into a class. So you can stick your durable relationships right up your ass. They want me to vote yes for these clowns. I'm voting no, no, no.
You've got to respect the content creators who make these clips. Michael from Free Press, I see in there in that video. Fair play. Very clever. I have a few videos. As I said, it's not always about me talking, you know. It's about other people as well. There are other people speaking. So my job is to spread the message of the people, I suppose.
Hello, do you want to say a few words about today?
I just want to say a few things as a very angry mother in our country. How dare this government try to take from us a part of a constitution that protects the mothers and children of this country. I, for one, will not take it, and I hope nobody else does. That's one pointer. The second pointer I want to make is durable relationships. I want Leo Varadkar or any TD, anyone, any politician in this country to come out and tell me what durable relationship actually means in layman terms. I am not going to blind vote on a referendum and not knowing what exactly that means. We need to know, the Irish people needs to know. And how dare anybody try and strip from me, born and bred in this country, how dare they try and strip me of my beliefs, my values and everything I stand for. I will not take it, and I hope the women of this country won't take it either. And another thing, I want the men of this country to stand up and protect their families, their mothers, their grandparents, their children. And why are people not out here today? What are you people afraid of? Because I, for one, am not afraid. I hope that gets out to a lot of people, and that from here on in, people stand up and fight for what they believe and everything this country stands for. We were born and reared here. How dare they? Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm hoping to have Gabriel and Martin on at some stage in the future for a chat as well. Gabriel's another man I've met on the journey, and he's lots of information for people to digest. So if you are into doing some research, go on to the People's Party Ireland. So it's the peoplespartyireland.com. Enter into that and have a read of the public letters. There's lots of unlawful carry on going on at the moment, including this referendum. So I would urge you to dip your toes into that website, the peoplespartyireland.com, and have a read of the letters. There are many of them, many criminal charges pressed against many people. Public letters, so they've been made, public declarations. Lots of information in there for people to digest and understand in relation to the corporate Republic of Ireland government. You know, you'll hear lots of people saying, "Oh, they're a corporation" and all this stuff. Go over there, have a look at that. There's so many letters for you to read and so many facts for you to digest. And I would suggest to you, if you're into trying to make sense out of the madness and where it's all gone so wrong, and what they are doing wrong and what's being done wrong on the Irish people, go over there to the People's Party Ireland and have a look at the letters, the public letters. So yeah, basically we all understand about the WEF and United Nations control. Spelling it out for you here. Go off and have a read and give me a shout, maybe, if you want to. When you've read some and if you'd like to have a chat about any of it, give me a shout. So there's so many things out there. Deregistration, Bunrocked, IRB, People's Party, the Irish People, National Party, the two national parties, the two IRBs, independence, independents out of Leinster House are now coming out independent as well and canvassing. I've seen a video of a young man running for them. So there's so many political entities. So yeah, this political entity here is worth checking out, in my humble opinion. That's what I would say to you. But again, I'll check the comments. If there are none, I'll play a video or two. And maybe Darren will come in at some stage, I don't know. And we'll just go with the flow. As I said, if you have any questions or topics, leave them in the comment section. I thought this one was good. Morlock was on last night, and he sent me this clip. I shared it out yesterday, but it's very clever. Check it out.
Wouldn't it be great to see one or more people from the newly formed political parties in Ireland or even established parties going live tonight, Wednesday, 6th of March at 7 p.m. on YouTube with Dennis and Murlock, simply defend their positions and tell us their solution? Sure, what harm could it do?
Hello everybody. The first thing that I want to say is how on earth can we take direction on a referendum from a government that can't even define what a woman is? To talk about mothers' rights and they can't even say what a woman is. Well, a woman is a female adult. That's all that's to it. It's really quite that simple. I want to talk as well about, in the Constitution, the obligation that the government has to make provisions for the mother in the home. If we go into a period where interest rises even more than it is now, and that obligation is not in the Constitution, you are going to see you're going to see a situation where the government no longer has to make provisions for a woman who is minding children. They're barely making provisions at the moment. If this government was interested in providing for mothers, they would provide things like childcare. They don't do that. They would provide things like affordable housing. They're not interested in those things. So that is the reason you need to vote no. If you strip away the obligation that the government has to mothers, you can forget about it. There will be no childbearing encouraged any longer in this country. Also, the vast majority of the TDs and ministers who are saying that, oh, this is a backward thing and women's place is defined as being stuck in the kitchen. If you look at them, most of them are single men, childless. They don't know what it is to be a family unit, and nor do they care. We have a situation at the moment outside in Sligo where the Church of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons, are applying for permission for a place of worship and housing. That's a religion that practices polygamy. If we take away these definitions, polygamy, where you have multiple marriages and stuff like that, will be recognised in Ireland. So you're talking about a situation where the Islamic faith can practice in this country multiple marriages, multiple families. This is crazy. It's absolute insanity what's going on. As a people, we have to stand up and we have to say to ourselves, do I trust this government? Do I trust Micheál Martin, who told me he would never go into government with Fine Gael? Do I trust Sinn Féin, who are after saying, even if you vote no, we'll run the referendum again? How on earth can we trust these people? And if we have been lied to multiple times, and then the person who has lied to us multiple times says, I'm doing something in your benefit, they're lying again. So thank you everyone. Vote no, no. Thank you.
I just seen the end of that clip there. Robert, the lad who does all the videos, he's a good man. I think he's been around the last couple of years. I think he's a Polish lad, and Jan as well, another chap that works with the same crew. So tip of the hat to them for getting the information out to the Irish people, and helping getting the information out. I'll just pop through the videos. Sorry, before I play that, speaking of Poland, You get the idea, don't you? Police force, WEF controlled now in Poland. So yeah, this is what we're fighting, folks. World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, all that stuff. It is real, and yeah, it is real.
Hi everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video about the upcoming referendum which falls on March the 8th. After the research I have done, I will be voting no for the two of them. Article 41.2, where they're trying to remove the words women, home and mother. I don't agree, so I will be voting no. What I've learned as well, March the 8th also falls on International Women's Day, which I find is a massive insult to women to be having this, let alone having it on that day. So what I can't express to you enough to please do your research, and if in doubt, vote no. Every woman that has a voice, you have a chance to use it now, and get out loud and proud, and please vote no on March the 8th. It's your time to be heard.
Respect. That was Ballymun last night, my hometown. The crew out in Ballymun out again. Yeah, spreading the information that it's all caused by the government. Everything. It's all caused by them. And they are a foreign entity now. They have been taken over, and decisions are not made on a national level. For a national level. Decisions, including the budget, are handed over. And it is what it is. But the Irish people need to accept things are so bad, and then, you know, people talk about realizing how bad it is, but so many people are all in different positions in different places. But hopefully soon enough, the people realize that it is that bad. It is that bad. I'll read an article here. Just my woman sends me clips that she thinks may be relevant for people to hear. They are not always from an activist perspective, because I'm not only speaking to activists when I speak, I'm speaking to everybody. So if there's any groups out there, any groups that are working with people who are suffering under stake here, you're welcome to come on here and have a chat about that. I'm just going to give you a little example. This is today. So I'll tell you 1 second. Schoolgirl waiting 5 years for scoliosis surgery is in so much pain she can't sit in wheelchair. Kylie Ann Stewart, 10, is one of 327 children across the country in need of surgery for scoliosis, a disease which causes a sideways curvature of the spine. A schoolgirl who has waited 5 years for life-changing surgery due to a curved back is in so much pain she can no longer sit in her wheelchair. She was age 5 when doctors said she needed surgery within a year, which was 5 years ago, and the curvature is now putting pressure on her lungs. Sinn Féin TD Pierce Doherty raised the case of Kylie Ann, who is from Kilmacrennan in County Donegal, last week in the Dáil. Kylie's mum, Catherine, yesterday told the Irish Mirror that her daughter's spine is so curved that she cannot sit in the wheelchair because of the friction it causes against her back, so she lies on the floor to help with the pain. Kylie gets from room to room at home by bum shuffling. The friction against her back is so sore. She lies on the floor and then bum shuffles between the rooms. When Kylie Ann was age 2, We knew that the bone was protruding in her back. In 2018, when she was 5, we were told that she needed surgery and that it needed to happen within a year, and that was 5 years ago. A new development is that she now has reduced lung capacity. We are hoping for surgery, but we are just not hopeful. And it goes on. It goes on. And it was also just today alone. I hope I'm not boring you. But as I said before, I'm just using it as a portal to speak openly in this world as an independent man and expose the corrupt state as best I can. But anyway, I was up in my mother's today visiting, and the paper was there. A Garda who was suspended for 3 years after giving an unclaimed bike to an isolated pensioner during the pandemic has been exonerated of any wrongdoing. The officer was cleared of 5 disciplinary charges by an internal board of inquiry. The GRA said a sledgehammer of discipline was used to crack a nut. So he gave an old pensioner, an isolated pensioner, a bike that was hanging around in the Garda station because the old lad's bike was broke, I think, at the time, or was damaged or something. So he gave him a gift, one of the old bikes, and they suspended him for 3 years. It's heartless, isn't it? So anyway, 1 second. All planned surgeries for today at 5 hospitals are to be postponed for a second day. The decision was taken due to the high number of very ill patients presenting at its emergency department over the past few days. Elective procedures at the University Hospital Limerick and Ennis, Nina St John's and Croom orthopaedic hospitals are halted today. The Health Service executive said 73 patients were waiting on trolleys in its ED yesterday, with 44 patients occupying surge capacity beds which are used for scheduled surgical procedures. Single male asylum seekers are still arriving in huge numbers, despite the government not being able to accommodate them, the Taoiseach has revealed. Leo Varadkar said the real struggle is to keep up with the sheer volume of international protection applicants, but said reception centres were opening regularly. The Fine Gael leader said it wasn't the government's policy to deliberately not provide shelter and accommodation. Imagine having to say that. This is just like there. It's just there in the newspaper. Two scandals. $50 Shades of Pay. Watchdog says RTE finances must go back under state scrutiny. Passing around some money in RTE. Report calls for no more side deals. Well, like the one in place for Ryan. Scandal. Second now. A tenant assaulted his landlady as she slept in the night, pulling out clumps of her hair and claiming she was the devil before jumping out a second floor window on top of Gardaí. Paolo Ronchi, a chef, was having some sort of psychotic episode when he attacked his landlady. She woke up to find a needle on top of her, screaming that she was a devil and a witch. She was shouting and raving that he was possessed by God, the court heard. He jumped out the second floor window, landing on top of 2 Gardaí underneath. Plans for jab harm Compo. The Department of Health is working on the introduction of a compensation scheme providing for payouts to people who suffered harm after getting COVID-19 vaccines, experimental mRNA injections. Health Minister Stephen Donnelly has confirmed his officials are working on related policy matters with a view to finalising the scheme. Similar schemes in Europe cover core medical expenses, disability payments and death benefits of a no-fault basis. So there's that conspiracy theory turned out to be true. And it's just there. Another scandal. It's just there. Yeah, over here. Just there. Just reading about the ceasefire, the proposed ceasefire in Gaza. Our government is complicit in that as well. Yeah, that's a fact. And then call to boost arms industry and pivot away from the US. The European Union yesterday outlined plans to boost its defence industry in the face of the threat posed by Russia's war on Ukraine and wean member nations off an overdependence on the US for arms. The plan by the EU Commission centred on streamlining the procedure of arms by the 27 EU states and to increasingly produce them within the bloc in a pivot away from America. In the first 16 months since February 2022, start of Russia's invasion, member states spent more than €100 billion on defence acquisitions, said EU Commissioner Vice President Margaret Vestager. They're all linked in with the experimental injections as well, all one big gang. All van der Leyen, WEF, Patrick Clavin, former commissioner, Donnelly, Varadkar, Government Ireland, one big gang going around. Balkans must join with EU. Germany's foreign minister has said that Western Balkans countries joining the EU is a geopolitical necessity that will make Europe stronger in the face of Russia's full-scale aggression against Ukraine. Mental, isn't it? We are now part of a war machine. We are now part of... Remember we used to give out about the American military war complex machine? All the bombs and all that kind of stuff. We're now in there. Our government are in there, in that arena, buying death machines and injecting people with stuff and treating elderly bad and treating children bad. Part of genocide in Gaza. No more operations for people. Male refugees still pouring in. This is just the newspaper. This is not me. This is actually in the news. They're not conspiracy theories. They're actually telling people, like. Now there's one fella in here, Keith Faulkner, has a little section in the Mirror. Oh, sorry, the Daily Star. I'll give him a shout out, Keith Faulkner. I don't know the man, but to be writing like this in this paper, fair play. New lows in Gaza horror. There really is no end to the sadistic depravity of the murderous Israeli regime. Not just happy with bombing thousands of Palestinian children into an early grave, they are now starving them to death. And when hungry Gazans come rushing to the odd aid truck that's allowed into them, Israeli soldiers shoot them dead. What we are witnessing in Gaza is without question one of the worst atrocities in our lifetime. There is no comeback now for Israel in the eyes of any right-thinking person. Unfortunately, with nothing to lose, that makes Israel even more dangerous. Another thing to Google about Israel's military machine, the Samson project. Check it out. Check out the Samson project. Very dark project. It's an Israeli state legislation. The Samson option, I think it's called, is to, if they're getting wiped out, they'll wipe everybody out. If their nation, if their state is getting wiped out, everybody's gone. Check it out. I read that a few years ago and it blew my mind. We're living through times when many parents in this country are skipping meals or borrowing money so they can feed their kids. Yeah, a tone-deaf government has decided to spend millions, including a double referendum on the family this week that most, if not all, struggling families couldn't care less about. Spending billions. But they just far right if you point these things out, isn't it? I suppose. What else? Oh, now we're into the entertainment. Now all the articles get big and bright. Anyways, I'll check the messages and then I think I'll leave it be for the night, folks. Don't want to be boring you. More videos. Yeah, so that's me for this evening, and I will see ye Monday, 7 o'clock. Monday to Thursday, 7 o'clock. Seems to be what I'm going to do for the foreseeable future. It's the least I can do. Keep up the good work, everybody. And that's really it. Much love. Be good. Check out that website.